Just what makes a candle worth $100 plus? What makes them so much different over other candles? Are they really that good? Why would anyone want to spend over $100 for a candle? We need answers, and I got you. I'll answer those questions, plus give you my favorite candle brands in this price range. Hey, what's up? I'm Rekeema. Welcome to Detaileddream, where the primary focus is to expose you to the expansive world of luxury goods for yourself and your home. So, what makes a candle worth $100 and what makes them different? They can be answered in the same context. There are a few things I want to point out and want you to think about when it comes to candles or home fragrances in this price range. If you're already collecting and buying candles in this price range, then you probably already know what I'm about to say. Okay, for one, the same reason why niche fragrance houses like Kilian, Mason Francis Kurkdjian, or Parfums de Marly has these ultra expensive fragrances. When it comes to these high-end candle houses, they follow the same, philosophy of providing essentially artistry when it comes to scent. Of course, there are different components when it comes to candles, like wax, but I personally feel when it comes to high-end perfumes and home fragrances, they follow the same path, just different lanes, if that makes any sense. I'm not here to try to persuade anyone to spend this much on candles, but do want to shed light on the artistry of home fragrance because in this price range, that's what you'll typically find. Nothing is perfect, but I do expect a certain level of quality when it comes to these higher-end home fragrance houses. Speaking figuratively, I want to smell the history of the brand. I want to smell the exclusivity. I want to smell the craftsmanship, the artistry. I want to smell the emotion of the scent. And most importantly, I want to smell my money being spent. I'm joking, but all of these nuances add up to be some of the best home fragrances that you will ever smell, whether you're burning them every day as a signature scent for your space or just on occasion. These are the type of scents that make time feel special. I say this all the time, scent is such a subjective commodity, so these candles, they won't be for everyone, just like no one will like every perfume they smell. But when you do find that one candle that you can't describe with words, but instead make you feel emotion, that is what I describe as art. I know that can be for any scent in any price range, but I'm just speaking on these high-end candle brands for this conversation. So what are my current favorite high-end candle houses? Sit back, relax, let's talk candles. This first candle house happens to be my personal favorite and also has my favorite candle scent. Some of you may already know if you're a regular viewer of the channel, but Trudon is what I consider to sit at the pinnacle of home fragrance. $125 for 9.5 ounces. I know the wax of their candles were being questioned a lot, and I can confirm their scented candles are 100% vegetable wax, and the exact blend is soy, coconut, and rice. I believe they use beeswax as well. Maybe that's only for their beeswax absolute candle. But Trudon scents are very good, strong performers with top-tier quality. There is amazing consistency with every scent performing the same when it comes to the hot throw. I remember back to a time before I started making videos on candles, I struggled looking for a good home fragrance. I essentially wanted my home, my space, to smell as good as the fragrance I wear. It was a very frustrating time because I wanted something more. I just didn't know where to look or where to start even. I was then gifted some dip tea candles which opened up the floodgates to a world I didn't even know existed. I still get goosebumps thinking about this, but I remember it like yesterday, walking into the Trudon in New York on Spring Street. It was a very cold day, but I was very excited to see these candles because I heard a lot about them. I walk in and see this warm vintage aesthetic store with all of these neatly aligned candles under glass cloches with names I couldn't pronounce. I felt like I was out of my element. I had no idea what I was looking for. I was a little overwhelmed, to say the least. I almost walked out to go back to what I was used to, which was diptyque at the time, but I decided right there to just dive in to at least smell something. And that's when I picked up the glass cloche to the Madeline scent. You know the scene in Harry Potter when he picked up the wand and, like magic, everything started to glow. That was the feeling for me. I was no longer cold from the outside. Nothing else mattered but my moment with the scent. Of course, I bought it and loved it so much that I made a little short video on it. My channel didn't have any direction at the time, so I figured someone else may be looking for a good smelling candle. Little did I know, this very scent would jumpstart this channel on the journey of home fragrance. I'm not going to bore you with the details, but that video did very well for where the channel was at the time, and it hit me that I may have something, and now we're here. I owe the Madeline scent so much, especially with the emotional connection I have to it. Incredible. This scent, it's comprised of castoreum, jasmine, rose, moss, leather, tobacco. I describe this scent as opulent elegance. Not everyone's cup of tea, but this scent turned out to be my favorite candle of all time. Some other incredible candle choices from Trudon would be Cyrano's, Ernesto, Balmoral, Abdelkader, Salta. Trudon, it's full of history and artistry that you can definitely smell from the scents. Let me know if you have any favorite Trudon scents in the comments. The next candle house I want to discuss is the Atelier of Fornasetti, where the imagination meets design. I honestly wouldn't classify Fornasetti as a candle house. I would say this is more of an atelier of pure art known for their iconic furniture pieces with whimsical designs. That reminds me much of one of my favorite artists, Salvador Dali, with his surrealism. In saying this, I like to think of their candles as more of collectible art pieces that just so happens to have a scent. Their current collection is $300 for an 11-ounce candle with 100% vegetable wax. Strong, prominent performing candles. The price of these candles are definitely up there, but like I said, these are much more than just a candle. These are pieces of art. And when the collection is done, I don't believe they're ever released again, so you have to find them somewhere like eBay if you see a vessel they don't sell anymore. I could be wrong on that though, so don't quote me on it. Getting a Fornasetti candle was one of my goals a couple years ago, and I was very excited when I was finally able to buy one. I remember driving to Eddie's Perfumery in New York. I believe it's on the Lower East Side, and this is also on another cold night in December. But this time, I was on a mission. I knew exactly what I wanted, and plus I was parked in a yellow outside, so I had to make it quick. I'm not sure if the store looks different now. I haven't been there in a very long time. I went in to pick up the Otto scent, a beautiful, sophisticated woody scent with touches of Mediterranean herb and incense. I was so nervous paying for this because I've never spent so much on a candle before. I guess it was buyer's remorse, but I'm glad I bought it because I quickly found out what made Fornasetti Fornasetti. Compared to the new collection, the vessels from the prior collection is so much better in my opinion. They have much more character and design to them. From the new collections, I have the Sepoy candle from Fafala Balasura. It's a warm, fruity resinous scent. Rhubarb, blackcurrant, tomato leaves, myrrh, opoponax. The candles in general from Fornasetti are incredible works of art from the vessels to the scents. I'll leave the review to this auto scent in the description if you haven't seen it yet. And I do want to say, I do not burn these candles daily. Only on occasion, special moments. I am definitely not burning these often for obvious reasons. The next brand we'll talk about is Loewe, known for their high-end fashion pieces, but their fragrances has the same care and quality as the clothing. $110 for 5.9 ounces with 100% vegetable wax. I don't have any stories to tell you about going to pick up a Loewe candle on a cold day, but I will say these candles were on my wish list for a very long time, and I was excited to finally get to experience them because they did not disappoint. And as expected, their scents are very aromatic and natural that are strong with high performance. The only thing I dislike about them is the size. 5.9 ounces for such a small candle. $410, but of course, there's the luxury tax. But it's something I'll overlook for a good quality burn, a good wax, and an amazing scent. And I also really love the look of the terracotta vessels. They have a very natural shape and look to them. It pairs perfectly with their scents, and I guess that's the goal, right? The thing I probably love most about Loewe candles is the experience. They may be small, but they make some of the best morning burns, or candles to burn while cooking, as most of them are catered to herbaceous aromatic scents. The one I currently have now is oregano. Extremely herbaceous, clean, and aromatic. The scent notes aren't listed anywhere, but it's described to be an herbaceous garden. I would say that's true. My nose is picking up an invigorating oregano, but it smells like there could be something else in here like eucalyptus or mint. The type of scent that gives your nostrils that cooling effect. I'm really looking forward to exploring more Loewe candles. I want to try tomato leaves, orange blossom, and incense candles next. I just know those scents are going to be incredibly aromatic. Let me know if you're a fan of Loewe candles and are you able to overlook the size for a good quality scent? The next candle house I find to be top tier exceptional is Curionoir. A detailed conversation on this house is long overdue. This is a fragrance house with rich heritage and tradition based in New Zealand, with the founder drawing back her memories of growing up in her family's Maori culture, the indigenous Polynesian people of mainland New Zealand. The way my ideals align with the philosophy of this brand is what I love most about it. It's the idea that scent is what connects directly to our memories, binding us to our past and present. Scent is truly a powerful variable that has more of an impact on our lives than we think. Can't wait to tell you more about this fragrance house in detail. Soon. Very soon. As far as the candles, while they're listed at $125, you have to remember this brand is based in New Zealand and these candles aren't as readily available in the States, which is the only caveat. It would more than likely be blind buys, and as you would assume, this makes shipping very, very expensive to get one shipped here. That $125 turns to $200 in a blink of an eye. Well, $195, and that's for 13.7 ounces. And that's with the biodegradable botanical wax. This wax type reminds me a lot like beeswax. One of the cleanest burns I have ever experienced with a strong hot throw. Farfetch also has Curionoir candles, but not all at one time since they sell out as people buy them, so it's just a waiting game if you want that quick Farfetch shipping. I would say Curionoir is worth overlooking the shipping cost for. The craftsmanship of the scent, the hand-blown glass vessel, makes it feel like I have something exclusive. Well, I technically do for the States. The scent I have now is called Diaphanous. I really hope I said that right, but I played it safe when I bought this since I couldn't smell it beforehand. But as soon as I seen Sambac Jasmine with some woody elements, I knew this was the scent I had to experience. It also has featured notes of saffron, amber, and mandarin, a fresh musky floral with depth. It's a very beautiful, fresh, light white floral scent. I don't burn this too often, only on rare occasion, but when I do, I really enjoy my time with it. It's like opening a vintage wine. You don't do it often, but when you do, that time is memorable. I guess that's one upside of getting it shipped here. A few of you told me you have Curionoir candles as well, so I'm not the only one buying them in the States. Farfetch also has sales sometimes, so stay on the lookout if you're interested. The House of Madeleine is a heavy hitter in this price range. Very fragrant, aromatic scents that are strong performers, especially with the wax they use. These candles come in at $130 for 10.5 ounces with 100% soy wax. They refuse to work with paraffin or any other petroleum-based ingredient. It has no place in their brand, and I love to see it. Seeing the natural cratering and pitting of the wax reminds you that, yes, this is 100% soy. I actually really love the look of the wax paired with the iron vessels. Gives it more of that industrial rustic look. Their candles also come with lids that are also iron. Don't see that too often in this price range without having to spend an extra $100. I have a detailed review of Madeleine on the channel, but I'm glad I'm able to briefly revisit this house because these scents are something you don't normally come across in home fragrance. The brand, the scent, the vessel stand out even among these other higher end candle houses. I mean, they all have their own voice and their own uniqueness that makes them different, but Madeleine just has that rawness to it that makes them unlike anything else in this category. What I love most about Madeleine is their belief that scent transcends our emotions. They also work with raw materials to create their scents to echo their desire for simplicity and nature. Madeleine describes themselves as raw sophistication, exceptional quality scents with clean burns, and consistent high performance. Asphalt Rose is still my current favorite. I love this deep, warm scent of rose. It has notes of macadam and crushed rose petals, very rosy with a polarizing warm depth. Night Silk, Spirituelle, and Cypress de Max are a few other noteworthy scents as well. Madeleine is based in the south of France, but these candles you can actually find in the States. Candle Delirium actually has every Madeleine scent to sniff if you ever wanted to get your nose on them. These next two brands I want to talk about as honorable mentions. I find the scents to be exceptional. There are just some things I find questionable. The first brand is Aesop. I get so many questions on what my thoughts are on their candles. $110 for 10.5 ounces. My issue with Aesop is the wax. Aesop is known to be one of the most cleanest skincare brands, and to have a paraffin-based wax isn't what I think when I look at Aesop as a whole. I know the paraffin they use may be of very high quality, but when I think of an Aesop candle, I think of beeswax, I think of coconut, I think of soy, anything other than paraffin. The candle I have from Aesop is Agonize, which may be the best smelling cardamom scent I've ever smelled. It's extremely fragrant, it's fresh, it's clean, and it has a bit of spice. But I only burn this to melt the top layer of wax after using it with my candle warmer. I just wish I can burn this more often because the scent is extremely good, but for $110 and coming from Aesop, I just expected a better wax. The other honorable mention is none other than Tom Ford. While I do recommend the candles if you love the fragrances, that Tom Ford tax will hit like a ton of bricks every time. Amazing scents for candles, you just have to pay for them and you get so little. $135 for only 7 ounces. $135. 7 ounces. And the wax is also unknown. I searched high and wide to try to find out. I even reached out to the team with no luck. Tom Ford is now owned by Estee Lauder, so it honestly wouldn't surprise me if a paraffin wax was used, which makes it even harder to justify. Don't get me wrong, you will definitely love Tom Ford candles if you love the scents. I still love Oud Wood very much. I actually just finished it. Just find these candles on sale if you can. But as it sits, this is every bit of a $70 candle without the Tom Ford tax. Just lower the price, which isn't going to happen, or increase the vessel size and use a vegetable wax, which also probably isn't going to happen. Just find the sales if you can. No matter the price, size, wax, or brand, if you find interest in something, this can be anything, please experience it. This is what makes memories and personal experiences, like remembering the cold days of driving going to get your first Trudon. Oh, and don't forget to tell me how it made you feel because scent is and will always be tied to your emotions.